Hello, it's Bethany. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, if you have a short attention span, I recommend putting my voice in 1.75 speed. So go for a walk, stretch, get some chores done, relax, because this one is a doozy. Orion Taraban is a psychologist that gives advice on dating. I would say he is a prime example as to why PhDs mean absolutely nothing, why I don't trust therapists or psychologists, to be frank, because at the end of the day, they're just people, and quite frankly, usually the most screwed up. They went into psychology because of their own trauma, to try and figure out their own screwed up head, then get some fancy degree, think they have it all figured out, and preach bullshit messages to desperate, developing minds with their biased ass perspective. This guy is definitely the guy who got his heart broken one time and has hated women since. It's quite sad. The biggest thing that stood out to me that he loves to preach: women, your biggest value is your looks. You are most valuable at 18. You heard me. Yes, 18. The millisecond society goes, good for you. You've hit 6,574.5 days. You're a big kid now. Or should I say, you're an adult now. Go figure it out. And every year after 18, your value decreases. I mean, you're like a car. The older you get, the more miles you drive. I mean, you just get rusty. Your value is gone. You're all washed up. And how could anyone love you if you're Orion, you are disgusting. I am disgusted. I'm actually speechless. Just kidding, I'm never speechless. You have a platform, and that's the message you choose to spread to young women? Women who are practically children, whose minds are not developed? That is the message you want to be known for? By God, go get some fucking help. Stop studying degrees and go see someone with a degree. Some more excellent, truly remarkable advice he enjoys sharing. Women, you have to understand, sure, everyone is unique, but everyone is replaceable. Sex is all around us, men. Why would a man want to take the time to get to know you, commit to you, when he can just get a girl a couple of drinks and he's good? All you are is sex, obviously. What? So stop playing hard to get and just give it up already. You're not special. There's a reason men fall in love with hookers, strippers, escorts. Prepare yourself for what I'm about to say, because yes, he did say this. Girls with mental illness. It is because the man is receiving the most mind-blowing sex he couldn't get anywhere. Which I believe by anywhere, he meant women who are mentally stable and just want to give love and, I don't know, receive love. That is the most horrifying statement I have heard come out of someone's mouth. And this guy has a PhD, which just goes to show that PhDs are basically just saying, hey, look at me. I can sit at a desk for 8 years and read a book. I'm smart, I promise. Listen to me. I swear I have it all figured out. So why is this such a horrendous message to share? He equated that these men fall in love with the sex worker or the girl with serious trauma who is easy to manipulate. Side note, mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of. You're not dirty. There's nothing wrong with you. If you struggle with mental illness, I promise that is just stigma. We all have mental sicknesses in the mind. And people who've been through some serious heavy shit can get sick. It's just as real as a physical sickness, and you can learn to heal or live with the effects in a more positive way. Back to the story, I had to say that though. I've been a sex worker. In that case, in those terms, I suppose I'm just the luckiest girl in the world. And a lot of men are deeply in love with me. I mean, hell, they probably would sacrifice their life for me, to be honest. They would do a lot for me. Man, I'm practically their favorite person. They've shared their whole life story, their biggest fears, hopes, desires. And I suppose I have turned their brains to mush, but love, nah. Love is the one thing they will never have for me. They don't love me. They don't see me. I'm just a fantasy. I am a projection of whoever they want me to be. They don't know anything about me. As for the why men fall in love with mentally ill women, I don't know if I've said this enough, but go fuck yourself, Orion. They didn't love her. They don't care about her well-being. Love is kind. Love is compassionate. Love is soft. Love is gentle. Love is the desire to do all the little things for another person, like taking a picture of something you see that reminds you of something they said just 'cause. Love listens. Even when you're angry, you care about your words and how it'll affect them, and you never want to cause them harm. Even letting them go if you know you can't be the person you know they need. You don't love any of those women you described, the sex workers, the unhealed, traumatized women. You fetishize them. That is the correct word. That is the word you are looking for, Mr. Taraban. Fetishize. You fetishize the 18-year-old mentally ill girl. From the videos I've seen, I don't know if this man is capable of loving a woman. He just sees us as porn. That love is transactional. Don't you dare try teaching young women that that's the goal. That's all you're worth. All you deserve. You should settle for that. Consider it love. I pray to God you never have kids. If the man I had children with, which I don't want children, but if the man I had children with was anything like you, this was the message he shared to our children, our daughter, I would kill him. I would theoretically kill him because that message is so damaging. Also, side note, I'm sick right now. So if I sound out of breath or my voice is a bit weird, yeah, I'm going through it. The one thing I love about Orion is his advice. Just when you think it can't get more out of pocket, he says something that makes you re-question the entire fate of humanity. This dude is the perfect example of why you can't just listen to anyone. You have to be a critical thinker, come to your own conclusions about life, because any bozo, yes, even the one with fancy, meaningless degrees, can say practically anything. And if they say it with enough conviction, if it sounds true, people will believe it's true. Because in a way, everything he's saying is true. To him, it is his reality. Just feel sorry for the guy. Like, what a sad way to live. He's clearly never experienced raw, authentic love, which, like, same. But this guy doesn't even know the meaning. At least I know the superficiality of the dance men and women like to play. And trust me, I know how to be every man's deepest fantasy, if I so desired. I know the dance that ends up leaving them both exhausted. The next earth-shattering advice this man has for 18-year-old women, because you know, the younger the better, right? Silently screaming. Women, you want love, but you're not willing to give sex? How do you think that's going to work out for you? Because again, why would a man put effort into getting to know you as a human when he can instead get what he actually wants, sex, from more vulnerable people? His advice is, if you want a man to love you, the obvious solution, just give them sex, obviously. Be the Trojan horse. Find your target and make yourself readily available to them. Show them you are DTF. Down to fuck, if you didn't get that. I don't know what that means. Like, what? Walk up to a man, just take my shirt off? Corner him into a wall and snog the living shit out of him? Just send him a porno of yourself without him asking? I don't know, but whatever it may be, once you successfully get him in a room, be your most sluttiest you. Wow. I am going to frame that. Again, imagine this guy having a daughter. Hey, daddy, I really like this boy. What should I do? Instead of going, oh, honey, I don't know, talk to him. Ask him to hang out. See if you actually like who he is as a human being. The worst he could do is say no. Nah. This dude would go, well, honey, the way to a man's heart is to fuck him senselessly. Go be your sluttiest you. Here's a condom. Anyways, once you've successfully turned the man's brains to mush, the next step is to listen carefully. Weave your way into his life so you become an asset he can't live without. Cook. Do his laundry. Solve his emotional dilemmas. And whatever you do, ladies, do not rock the boat. Remember, you are easily replaceable. So you cannot bring light to any issues because why would he waste his time with that when he can find another Barbie doll to play with who will be silent and sit pretty? Come on, ladies. His advice was to treat it like a job. If you wouldn't say it to your boss, do not say it to your man or you will be fired. Wow, how heartwarming. I always forget how truly fragile the unhealed male ego is. They can't handle being wrong, being told that there may be a better way to do this that would benefit, quite literally, everyone involved. No, they'd rather you shut up so they can feel dominant, be right, be a man. Men are just a bunch of dogs yapping at each other, trying to be the coolest dog. But you know what? I had a dog and a cat growing up. The dog could be doing the most banana shit, but he knew not to get too close to the cat, even though he was 10 times bigger. He respected the cat. Ladies, you don't need to be a fucking dog treat. You don't need to throw them a bone. Just be a goddamn cat. And there's a reason why they say it's unhealthy, unhumane to declaw the cat. Screw what this man says. If there's a fucking issue, I don't want you to just rock the boat. I want you to sink the damn thing. Seriously, Orion, your words are truly inspiring. I'm inspired. I mean, after all, I am making this podcast. You guys want to know a secret about love? It doesn't make sense. It comes in all shapes, sizes, ages. When you least expect it, there is no formula. There is no cheat code. You can't just pick up a man and go, yeah, I want that one. Then Trojan horse him. And honestly expect he's going to love you back. I love how he even states, yeah, so some women have reached out to me saying they followed all the steps and it didn't work. And now they're feeling used. Sad. Even more hopeless than before. I believed they followed the steps, but where I think they probably went wrong is they opened their mouth. They must have disrespected their man in some way. Women just have this tendency of opening their mouth. Like, come on, ladies. If you're not opening your mouth to suck your master's dick, it shouldn't be opened, obviously. Or maybe. This is going to sound crazy, but maybe. Just maybe. Women, it's not you. You're not the problem. There's no formula. You can't make someone love you. You ever think that this dude would, of course, give women the advice of, oh yeah, you want commitment. You want love? Just throw yourself at him. Just fuck him senselessly. Then solve all of his life problems. And if that didn't work, oops, where did you go wrong? Do better next time. To me, that just sounds like a shallow douchebag pathetically trying to get laid by manipulating young women. You follow his advice, and the guy will probably think, wow, this girl's easy. This girl's desperate. I'm going to use her for a couple of months, show off my shiny new car, and then throw her out like garbage. Yay. For women, that is so damaging for her mental health. Like, oh my God. This dude just seems to hate everything about women. Our voice, our emotions, everything that makes women beautiful. Do you not care about our well-being at all? The chemicals released in our brain during sex is completely different. Following your advice is dangerous. Women should not have to destroy themselves for the shot of being loved by a man. I hope you know how damaging your message is. Do you even care? Because by the sounds of it, it really sounds like you just don't care about women. Y'all really gotta stick with me, man. Like, I'm for real sick, and I'm quitting vaping, so I have a hangover. Like, dude, my whole body is shutting down. Okay, back to the story. Again, you can't follow a step-by-step formula for love. There is no cheat code. It doesn't make sense why you love who you love. You just do. The only way you have a shot at a relationship that isn't abusive, controlling, draining, is to do the work to heal yourself. Know who you are. I wouldn't even say you have to fully love yourself. You just have to respect yourself enough to not be so desperate for love that you accept scraps. The bare minimums. Knowing you are worthy of being treated like a goddamn human. Being a man's disposable fuck doll is the bare minimum. Trust me. Write out the way you want to be treated. The qualities you're looking for. I'll use some of mine as an example. You have to be a free thinker. Don't just accept what society is telling you as the truth and follow the herd of the sheep. Do your own research. He has to know himself on such a core level that he is not afraid of saying what he believes in, regardless of what people may say or think about him. He has to be secure in his personality, okay with who he is, with or without me. If he's not okay with being by himself, that's dangerous, because you'll end up sacrificing who you are as a person trying to please me. Mold yourself into the person he thinks I want, when in reality, I want him to be unique, to be himself. Detachment to expectations is key. It's okay if we have differing opinions on certain things, as long as we both have an open mind to hear the other person's thoughts, grow with each other. Like, I want him to feel safe to come to me with any issue he's thinking about, even when it means that we may argue. We'll talk it out together, with compassion for each other's feelings and well-being, until we come up with a solution where we are both meeting each other halfway. I want him to feel safe coming to me with a problem, because how will I know if he bottles it up and never tells me? All that's going to do is lead up to built-up resentment that would destroy our relationship, and that would be devastating to me, because we could have worked it out. That is true love. Not being petrified a person will leave you if you are honest. Knowing yourself. Two individuals who are complete on their own, coming together. You need to have the hard discussions. Relationships are work. They can be beautiful. You two could grow together, become better versions of yourself, not solely for the other person, but it just happens. You want to be the best you, so you can love them more. Not be the sluttiest you, because when you love them, you'll want to please them in that way. Be their little slut. I want a man who doesn't place his value on materialistic things. I'm not saying be a couch potato. Have goals. Have a passion for life. And know that the materialistic things will happen naturally. But it's not the most important thing. At the end of the day, we all die, and your shiny Rolex won't save you. It doesn't make you more of a man. A man to me is fierce, strong, a protector, confident. He's not in competition with any other man. He doesn't care what any other man thinks of him. He is solely in competition with himself. And yes, he will kill to protect, but at the same time, he knows how to be soft, gentle, empathetic, kind, so I can curl up on his lap and on his chest and just fall asleep. And this should be a bare fucking minimum, but yeah, he needs to actually like women, appreciate women, see the strength in femininity and feminine qualities rather than telling us we should shut up so you can fuck us. Go fuck yourself, Dr. Taraban. Go fuck yourself. I don't want him to place all his value in who he is as a man through money because anything could happen. In 1 second, it could all be taken away. What happens then? Will you turn into a sour prick? No, I can't have that. I need to know you would still be grateful for the sun in the sky and the air that you breathe. Even if we were dirt poor, we could enjoy our life together. We'd figure it out. And until we did, we would dance in the streets, sing shittily together, sneak into a football field in the middle of the night as we just enjoy each other's company and watch the sunrise. And I only have these standards for a man I am in a relationship with because they are the same standards I hold myself accountable to. I've worked really hard to get to this place. And that is the reason it is fair for me to hold a partner to the same accountability as well. That's why you need to know yourself. If you don't know who you are, how will you know if someone's a good match for you? You can only see people as deeply as you see yourself. So you're right, Orion. Women want what they want, but a majority of men want young girls for sex. So a majority of women end up settling and trying to satisfy their other needs when they realize they'll most likely never be loved. Orion did get one thing correct. Nowadays, women are gaining their own financial success much younger, and more so than men. More and more women are choosing to remain single because we don't have to settle anymore. We don't need a man to survive. We're finally allowed to have our own career, passion, ambition. We have options. And yeah, it's hard for successful women to find a loving man, a loving relationship. Why is that? Actually, don't answer. You would say some dumb shit that would piss me off. So I'm going to tell you. It's hard enough for a beautiful woman to find a man who sees her, appreciates her as a human being, and isn't so horny, so porn crazed that that's the only thing they think about. Of course, a beautiful woman could have any man she wanted. They'd tell her how much they love her, but they don't give a shit about her. So you could be the most vile human being, walk all over you, and you would gladly sign your life away to her because you can't think past your dick. You're incapable of caring or seeing who she truly is as a person. That is completely on the man for being so blind. And society for sexualizing women all over. It makes sense how women have grown cold and will use a man for every droplet of resources they have. When we think, what's the point? No man will ever just love me. Because dumbass boys like you are literally preaching, yeah, we only care about sex. And if you don't give us what we want, well, guess what? You're not special. You're just a sex doll who needs to put on a performance, shut up, or we'll go fall in love with the stripper who's doing her job. Then, if you actually artificially catch feelings for the girl you're fucking and she bleeds you dry, the man gets all butthurt. Oh my God. Women are so evil. She used me. How could you be so blind to think she actually loved you? She just followed your formula. You attract what you put out, by the way. You ever wonder why all the girls you attract don't care about Ken and they just want to play in your dream house? It's because you only care about Barbie so you can rip off her clothes. Why would she care about Ken? The thing about beautiful women is they usually start off kind, hopeful even. The gorgeous goddess will fall in love for an ugly rat. Because women care a lot less about a man's appearance than men like to project onto them, since that's all they care about. So instead of the rat going, wow, I'm so blessed that she loves me, treats me well, he goes, I must be really hot. I wonder who else I could bang. and he fucks it up because his stupid ego can't handle it. As for successful women, let alone beautiful, successful women, man, they are fucked. Because society teaches boys their only value is materialistic resources they can provide. So some guys are genuinely good-hearted, naturally providing people, and they try to provide for a woman, and she does have a shallow heart. That woman is just shitty. So I'm sorry if good-hearted men actually exist. You are a unicorn, and maybe I hope you weren't thinking with your dick, and you just were a fucked up situation. It is sad. That is an area I empathize for men. You're trained, your emotions don't matter. Having feelings is weak. Probably because emotion is associated with femininity. Emotions are not weak, though. They can be extraordinarily powerful. Love is the highest frequency. And everyone has emotions. I'd say it takes a lot more strength to admit you have them, and it takes strength to be able to emotionally regulate yourself and use emotions for good instead of allowing them to blind you. But men care more about what other men think about them. They need to be the strongest, drive the best car, be the provider for their family, which there's nothing wrong with that. If the woman is happy and you're happy, great. However, just being the financial provider doesn't make you a good man. Do you actually love, cherish, spend time with your family? Or do you boss them around and wave your dick in their face all the fucking time? The way society was set up not too long ago, a woman really couldn't survive without a man. She had to be that old-fashioned version of a woman. The man could behave however he saw fit, and she really couldn't do anything about it. He had control over her. She doesn't obey. She doesn't have a home. But that doesn't mean that that's what a woman is. That's just a projection of what society was enforcing onto her. Women are so much more than that. Now men's identity is getting shattered. Oh no, what do I do? Who am I? What do I offer a woman who's beautiful, financially independent? I mean, I must not be a man. I have no set in stone place. Why would she want to be with me? Dude, just love her. Celebrate her successes. Cheer her on. Love every small thing about her. Don't allow your ego to get all butthurt. I'd argue the reason a majority of successful women search for a successful man to be their partner is because women are intelligent, and they know a majority of men are too insecure and cannot handle being with a woman who is independent because they have no control over them. Men don't know what to offer women besides money. They don't know how to just emotions. You see it happening all around you with celebrities, women in positions of power and mass influence. The first one that comes to mind is Marilyn Monroe. She was an independent woman who just wanted a man to love her, support her. And time again, you see her in relationships with men that couldn't handle it. They would try to control Marilyn's career or get her to quit for him, even though her career was her passion. She loved it. It made her her. She did it for herself. She wasn't going to give it up for a man, but no man could accept it. They couldn't handle the idea that millions of other men would kill to be with her. They didn't trust her. Couldn't fathom the idea that Marilyn just loved him, chose him, because a man would never do that for a woman. When they realized she wasn't going to give up her life for him, the man would typically start to shame her, point out all her flaws, make her feel insecure, undermine her success, her worth as a human. It's disgusting. And unfortunately, it's quite common pattern we still see today. So yeah, successful women are usually single. So this is getting pretty long. I've used up all the ink in my pen, and I've realized I could talk about this forever because this dude is just so I'm gonna call it quits for the day. Also, as much as I do not like this man in any way, shape, or form, you have to understand we're all just programs. And this dude is probably just really unhealed and insecure. So no hate to this man. I know I low-key crapped on him pretty hard, but at the end of the day, no hate to him. We're all people just doing our best, trying to figure this shit out that you call life. Actually, no. You know, I'm usually such a nice person. I am a nice person. I'm a kind person. I'm not a nice person, I should say. And you know what? I let people go too easily. This dude is preaching a disgusting message to young women who are practically children. It's disgusting. I don't really have compassion for him. I really don't. I think what he's teaching is seriously dangerous. I don't think he cares about women. And I don't think that a woman should be considered most valuable because she's sexually appealing at 18. Go fuck yourself, Orion.